It's your boy!
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the new video on the channel. Today we are doing a chat and chow as recommended by
Chow, baby!
we decided we are just going to be doing a mukbang today. It's not because I've run out of video ideas, but...
And it's not because we're hungry as fuck.
And bacon is good.
Yeah.
And we had all these coupons.
But it might be a combination of all of it. So yeah, we went and got probably the whole of Burger King. This is not a sponsored video, but Burger King, if you're watching this, hit up the boy.
Burger King.
But
I've
yeah,
been your advocate since you got here.
but basically we're just going to be talking about the day in the life of a South African, what it's like to live in South Africa. So hope you guys go on to enjoy the video.
Something I do every day.
You're just not going to introduce us.
I don't like a South African. Oh, okay, let me just introduce him. This is Mark. Everyone say hello to Mark. And then you guys know Ben. Ben's a regular on the channel.
Back again!
Guys, I think to start off, we just got about typical stereotypes of what it's like living in South Africa. What are some of the things you guys have heard before? Just disclaimer, Ben's lived in Germany. Well, he's half German, half Indian, half coloured, half everything. So,
Culture boy.
you actually might be able to answer this the most, because you probably going to Germany, people have said, oh, what is this what it's like in South Africa? Do you have a TV? Do you have a light as a pet? You know, that type of stuff. So what are some of the things that you've basically experienced being overseas?
So probably the first stereotype that someone's like actually said out loud to me was, I was in grade two or three at the time, and we were walking home from primary school, and then the kids were like so curious about me being from Africa and whatnot, and then they asked me, so how did you get here, like with a ship, or like
What?
did you have to hike here, or like and then I was like, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, yeah, like how did I get here? Did I like have a paddle boat? Because I didn't think that there would be airplanes in South Africa, so they literally thought I just got onto a boat with my parents and sailed here because we wanted to get out of the country. That was pretty funny.
But that was the first time when you were younger.
Yeah, that was when I was young, and then probably the wildest one. That was like in grade 3, so you can kind of understand where the kid was coming from, because like all his scene of Africa is like the safari, or poor people, or people starving. Not even immigrants at the time, as Germany was very plain. But then when I went to live in Germany after I finished school, I was at the student accommodation, so I was staying with a bunch of people I had never met before, all students, so they're all studying something, hence the word students. Anyway, so this guy, we were all sitting at the table now of where I was living, we were all just chilling there, and then the guy asked me, so do you have AIDS? Out of nowhere,
What?
literally, he just asked me if I had AIDS. And I was like, jeez. Like, first of all, damn, I couldn't believe someone would actually ask that. And then I was like, man, bro, I survived it.
I think what's really cool is, because Colin and I went to the UK, I think it's 2 years now, and we don't really get stereotypical questions like, what are your pets like, or do you have wild animals in your streets, and simple things like that. But we just ran with a lot of it. I think that's what's pretty cool about South Africans. When we go overseas, we just like run with the jokes instead of like getting offended from it.
So chill about,
Yeah, but yeah, man, I don't know. I think life is pretty simple here, to be honest. I think we're actually very chill. We like to complain a lot, but I think we've got it pretty easy compared to other countries when it comes to how we live our lives. You know what I mean?
It's actually an interesting thing that you say there is like, I was hiking the other day, and then we were talking about just a light, just 16k, you know what we do. We be walking, nature boys, and one of the people on the hike asked me, or just said in general, like, do we think that it's strict in Australia, and does that mean they're like not free, like in the sense of a freedom that they have? Because like in Africa, it pretty much feels like you can get away with anything. Everyone's so chilled, laid back, no one cares. Like, I mean, it was lockdown, you weren't really allowed to do anything, but we still did everything. Everyone just did what they wanted to do in essence. Like, I don't know anyone who got into trouble for doing what they did. And then like I kind of reversed the question and like, yeah, in a sense we are free, but don't you think what is freedom? Like it's such a
broad.
it's such a indefinable thing because like okay, yeah, we can maybe do more things in terms of law leniency, but in Australia you can kind of walk around wherever you want without really worrying, or you can go on a hike, for example, and not be afraid that someone's gonna mug you while you're in the valley.
I think when I said earlier, like we have it pretty easy, I think I should step back a little bit on that. I made it sound very like,
oh, there's no problem.
this is such a great place, you know. Like, but I think to a certain extent, we have it pretty easy. Like, it's gonna sound really funny. I don't know for anybody that's watching, if you're not from South Africa, but when it comes to lawful things, I think we have it pretty easy, if I can put it to that aspect.
Definitely.
I mean, when we, like the legal driving age is 18, that you're allowed to legally drive around and you can get your license.
Don't show this to the police. Fuck the cops.
But I can't think of anyone who didn't start driving around when they were like 14, 15, even 16, and I don't think anybody was caught.
Shout out here if you're watching.
And I mean, simple things like, you know, doing drugs and smoking weed and stuff like that, you don't really get people, much of people getting caught for it. I know people who have been caught. You shall not be named. But I think when it comes to how it's dealt here compared to other countries, it's much easier. Like, I'll go back to the driving aspects. I know in the UK, they're so strict with driving. Like they check they even check if you've got like insurance on your vehicle. If you don't have insurance, they can they give you, I don't know if you get a fine or something, but it doesn't matter if you've got insurance in your car. It's your own fault if you get insurance or not.
It's your own honest,
Let's talk about what are the things you freaking hate about this place, bruh. Taxis.
Oh,
I hate taxis.
Well, no, this man stands on my router. I'm driving. And this man will go like this.
Oh, is it? So we gaslighting each other here on this mukbang. That's what this is about. No, I fucking hate taxis, bruh. Like, cause, like Cam said, you can do whatever you want when you're driving.
Yeah, literally.
And these guys,
they'll
just reverse. They'll just reverse in the middle of the road, in a busy road. Not even like, okay, say now it's a chill one-way street, and they whatever went in there by accident, need to go back.
Intersections. What's that? Robot. What's that?
Yeah. So again, for anyone that's not from South Africa, taxis are like the most popular public transport, if I can put it in that way.
It's not a cab.
It's not a cab like you see in America, where it's like where the people stand on the side of the road and they call it taxi and they pull up. It's not that.
Put a picture here of a cab.
Yeah, there's a cab and a taxi. So a taxi is like a minibus. For us, a taxi. If you want to know about the cab in like America and stuff, that's Uber for us, if I can put it that way. But it's not so public. You can't just call it Uber for side of the road. You obviously order
what's
it
that thing called?
If this video gets 50 likes, we're sending Cam in a taxi to some Australian.
Yeah, okay.
For what?
50 likes and I'll get into a taxi, bro.
Oh, in a taxi. Oh yeah, I was thinking Uber. I was like, what are we gonna send to some Australian Uber for?
I'm not paying for that.
What's he gonna do?
Have you guys ever been in a taxi before?
Yeah. Shout out Sidhu again.
I haven't. Yeah.
Have you?
I've been in a taxi once before, but I was in school, and it was just like 100 meters down the road, so it wasn't anything hectic.
Sure.
But it's intimidating. It's actually really intimidating because you hear so many stories about taxis and how dangerous they drive and stuff. So you are cautious when you get in.
When I was in the taxi the first time, my friends made me so scared, bruh. They were like, "Oh, why is he doing here? What's he doing here?" And the only thing that made me nervous really was when they were like collecting the money to know how much you need to give. Because they don't say, "Give me 10 rand" or
So structured.
"Give me 20 rand." It's literally just getting in how much it costs roughly.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can just ask the gachi in the beginning, but I didn't do that because I was just with my friends and they did it for me.
Keep a low profile.
So yeah, I mean, like with taxis, they literally do everything on the road. They don't have any scum. They just do whatever they want to.
And they're a syndicate, bruh. They run this country.
But the thing is, like, I guess they're a real big curse, but they're also like, without them, public transport, I think it would also be pretty chaotic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how else would we provide, like, public transport to the masses and to people that need it? That's such a lot of price.
Cole's cleaning up everything. Now I agree that we need them, and that's why they have such a stronghold over the countries, because people who need them the most are unfortunately those who are less fortunate. So they need this transport to get to work, and they can't afford paying Uber fees or any of that because
Or their own transport.
or they don't have their own transport or whatever. So they need the taxis. But at the same time, I feel like the taxis should at least take responsibility and not be such just do whatever they want type of thing. Like,
You see, how it works with them is they get paid for how many passengers they can get. Obviously, business. So
obviously.
for them, it's their own business. So they rush around to different drop-off spots so that they can, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically,
make the most.
make as much money as they
Milk it,
can.
yeah.
So for them, the faster they get to somewhere, the more money they're going to make, because then they can travel and take more people around. So that's why they so reckless and do what they want to. But again, with law enforcement don't do anything about it. A taxi can literally jump a curb or do a U-turn or do something, and law enforcement won't do anything about it. Because it's like you said, they kind of run the country in essence.
They literally do. Like, I don't want to get political here, but during the lockdown, the taxis were only allowed to take a certain amount of capacity.
Yeah.
They're still only allowed to take a certain amount.
But the taxi bosses said that if they don't ease those restrictions, the taxis must all go on strike. And now if they all go on strike, then a lot of people don't get to work. So they basically put their foot down on the government's throat, saying, look, we either get to ride full capacity or we're not driving at all. And it even got to a point where they encouraged the drivers to take in full capacity during a virus. Like, people shouldn't be in such close proximity to each other for that amount of time, especially, some of these taxis, they're like full to the brim with people. And it's just not...
Yeah, and guys, when we say full capacity, we don't mean they can...
Their legal capacity.
Yeah.
They're really like 16 plus.
So the minibus can take what, maybe 12, 14 people. They will put about 20 people, maybe 25, pushing it. If you guys want to see how bad taxis are, just Google like taxi capacities and you'll see.
We can talk about taxis all day, but this is Challenge Shower, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on from that. Okay, so we've spoken about some of the shitty things about South Africa. For you guys, what's probably the best things you've experienced about South Africa?
Jeez. I don't think it's
I'll kick us off.
Oh, we can.
So, I've moved a lot. I've lived basically in Joburg. Most of you know where Joburg is. Then I came down to Port Elizabeth, where I am now. But within the last 3 to 4 years, I've been living between Port Elizabeth and another place called George. And to get in between those places, you travel on the garden route. And for those of you that have never traveled on the garden route, you got to do it. It's probably one of the most beautiful highway drives you can ever do, if I can put it that way. It's literally on the coast. The scenery is amazing. But to branch off from that, the South African scenery is unmatched. I don't think you can get it anywhere. And any international person, celebrity or just whoever it is, they'll tell you that's our scenery.
Yeah, beaches.
Beaches,
Yeah, that's what I was
mountains.
gonna say.
You guys just went on a hike.
The nature.
The hike was in town, so to speak.
Yeah, it was literally, we didn't have to leave. I could start this hike that we went on across the road from you.
Yeah, literally. But it still gave you that nature-esque aspect of that you're not even in town, you know. So I think for us, even I would call it our national landmark, Table Mountain. Everybody knows what Table Mountain is. I think that's probably one of the biggest benefits, and it's probably one of the biggest tourist attractions.
Yeah.
It's just
And then of
our
course,
scenery.
the game reserves, obviously, you can't go. That's crazy as well.
I really like South African people. Like, if you compare them to German people, South African people are very warm. So I'm not saying German people aren't warm or nice or anything like that, but it takes a while.
Okay, so any German people
In
watching?
case all my German homies are out there, if he gets. Anyways, what I mean by that is like you'd go to like the grocery store and the cashier would be like, hi, how are you? Like, are you good? You can literally just have a small, nice conversation. Sometimes it can be heartfelt. I mean, sometimes you get into Uber rides and these guys are like super insightful, so much motivation. You know what I mean? And like people are just friendlier. So when you lost, I feel like when I just started university as well, people are very willing to help me straight away because they could just see that I was struggling, basically. And I'm not saying in Germany it doesn't happen, but like when you're walking along the road, yeah, people will greet you. No one greets there. When I was greeting people in Germany, all my friends said, "Why are you so weird? Why are you greeting other human beings?" Like literally, I was getting up from this other restaurant with my tray to go put it away. It wasn't Burger King or McDonald's or any of that. It was like this. It was a burger joint though. So I'm getting up with my tray, and then the person in the other booth looks dead in my eyes, and I feel compelled to say hello.
Yeah.
So I say hi, and then when I walk out with my friends, I'm like, "Why'd you say hello to me? Did you know him? Why would you do that?" And for them, it's such a strange concept to greet
Someone you don't know.
Someone you don't know. And yeah, it's like everyone greets and like says, "How you doing?" Like I walked my dog the other day, like probably 12 kilometers or so, like to Central and back. And on my way there, like every person was working like a garden, whatever, would say hello, greet me, say have a nice day, or we'd like have like a brief encounter, but they'd be so nice about it. And you don't really get that a lot in the world. And
yeah, I think it also goes really well with like working people. I mean, when we went to Burger King now, for example, even though they're working and they, it's what it was now 9 o'clock or whatever it was.
busy.
They're busy, they're packed, because obviously people are ordering and stuff. They'll, what's the word I'm looking for? They will
Still find the
hold
time.
conversation with you.
Yeah.
They're not just there to take your order, thank you, here it is. They'll still say, "Oh, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, is this all, etc., etc." So, and what's really nice, it also goes the other way around. Like, we don't just go and order. We'll also ask, "How are you doing? Oh, is it a busy night tonight? Oh, what time are you getting
No, it's
off?"
not difficult. It's just like for us, it's easy. Just
But when I got you, I didn't do that. Like, I was always straight to the point because that's how they are in Germany. You get to the
You're
till and
just-
you just like, "I want this, and this."
yeah.
And then my friend was just like,
German precision.
why can't you just say hi, like how you doing? And I feel like it makes people a lot more relaxed as well. So like,
It drops a guard,
if you need help, and if you need help with something, and you'd be like, "Hey, how you doing, man?" "Oh man, I'm good. So listen, I just needed," you know what I mean? And then they're a lot more ready to help than if you go there, "Hey, sorry, where's this place?" You know what I mean?
Manipulation 101.
It's not manipulation. It's like just being nice, and then people feel like being nice to you, and like it's.
But
So-
don't get us wrong.
I'm kidding.
It's kind of like what we spoke about earlier. It's not everyone in South Africa is like that, but majority still make the arseholes every now and
Very
again.
common.
That's
I mean,
Wait,
there's always
super
exceptions,
issue.
but
Yeah, no, all the time. But I think what's really nice is in certain aspects, because obviously we've been through the apartheid aspects. If you guys don't know what apartheid is, someone can explain it. Just go Google it and research it. But like majority of people have moved on from that, and you can see it in conversation that you have with people. Like I will go to like a petrol station, for example, the guy that's putting petrol in. I'm not just gonna let him do something. I'll have a conversation with him. I'll say, "Oh, have you had a busy day today?" Type of thing. Whereas before, you couldn't do that. Well, you wouldn't, if I can put it that way. But then again, you get the other people that are just like, they're still strict to their apartheid regimes, So
shout out Cold, no I'm joking. How was school like for you guys?
Mark, you want to take it away?
No.
We will get something out of this man by the time we're done eating, or I might make Benedict.
Mark's literally just eating. I think what was nice was
Every now and then he'll spit in the field.
it was like,
That's the play.
I think what was nice is actually all three of us went to different schools.
Right.
So I don't know, was VP's not a private school, it's public school. And Alex is also government. Public,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I went to the private school.
Yeah, it's fancy.
Oh, you went to Cranbrook. That's a private school.
But like for me, are you talking about like the junior school phase or like the high school phase?
Well, we both went to you went to primary school?
Also St. Dominic's.
Okay, so you went full out 12 years.
Yeah. Well, I came to PE when I was in grade 6, which is 11, 12. So for me, I can't really say much about the junior school because when I stayed in Joburg before I moved to PE, I was in an Afrikaans school. And then I came to...
That's why you have the accent.
Oh, apparently. But then when I came to... Well, I went to Afrikaans and English schools. I switched between schools there basically. But I was used to the Afrikaans aspect of schooling there. Then when I came here, it was kind of like, I've never been in a religious-based school, if I can put it that way. So yeah, I went to a Catholic school, a private Catholic school. So it was very different where now you have set events. Oh, we are private school. So we would have set events like communion and Ash Wednesday and stuff like that. So we would have designated days where you go and even if you're not Catholic, you can be Methodist or whatever it is, you got to sit in those. Don't you want to call it an event, what you call it, a mass. Sorry, mass.
Yeah.
So,
It's not a draw. It's not a rooftop.
Ash Wednesday,
Communion every morning.
But yeah, even like every morning we would have assembly where we sing religious songs and then we pray as a school and stuff like that. But then you, for the rest of the day, you go by your day as like a normal school. So it was a big change because obviously I wasn't used to it. So it was a little bit different. But just from the social aspect, it was, I don't know, I feel like I was a social person. I don't know, people can laugh at me. I enjoyed it. I'm one of those typical people that are like...
If you knew Cam at school, comment below how it was. We want to
so
see.
cool. Yeah.
True, but they all gonna believe me now.
But we know.
Yeah, for me, I made friends through comedy. So I like to be funny, but also cocky at the same time. I'm very cocky.
To make fun of me and
We used to make so much fun
Yeah.
of Mark for his soccer skills. He's still pretty shit, but not.
other phone call.
I just came here to eat. Now we're recording a mukbang, and they making fun of me again.
But yeah, I'd like to. But I don't know. I consider myself as one of the jocks slash popular kids.
Oh, jocks slash
Popular kids at school.
At the Catholic school.
No, it's because I played first team for like all the sports that I played in.
First team.
I wish I went to St. Dominic's, Brad. That would have also been flexing on his first team.
But
Out of the 5 guys that we do at school.
yeah, to be fair, like the first team was literally grade 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the tricks. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was popular and stuff like that.
There was only one team, guys.
No, we had 2 teams.
And they played all the sports.
Leave him alone. This is his YouTube channel. He's never gonna invite you again.
Ben's just salty because he never played first team football in his life. That's why.
Yeah.
Fine. They were more than one team at
Even
DP.
I made an appearance.
So Mark, how was school for you, Mark?
That was good, eh? Nah, but overall, Alex is pretty chill.
So Overhead was the primary school me and Mark both.
Yeah.
So we've known each other since we were kids, like small kids. And we met Cam around 2014 World Cup time, I read.
Finally wants to say something.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
That's it.
So I'm just explaining. So Mark went to Alex
Mm.
with a brown uniform. Now he's chewing. Chew, 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 chew. Chew.
I think the big difference between like private and public schools is private schools, there's not much drama, if that makes sense. You go to school and you're at school. Yes, there's dramas, you get the fights every now and again, but when I say dramas, there's nothing hectic from like a crime aspect, if I can put it that way. There's no,
I know what Cam's getting at.
you know what I'm
All the
getting at.
cokeheads there by Alex.
No, it's like, let me put it this way, because you had an instance at your school about a stabbing thing or a mugging, wasn't it?
Let's talk about that, Mark. Didn't you get mugged on campus?
Yes,
Yeah,
on campus.
What else is there? On school grounds?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, I think, but I think the main reason for that was also
The location.
the location of the schools. But like public schools are lots more on the outskirts of PE, whereas the private schools are a lot more in. Like with you guys, yes, it's more central, but it's you could consider it an outskirt for the area it goes into.
I didn't
I
even
think so.
make that correlation.
I've never thought about that. VP is
Same
like
with
in
the
the
pitch
middle.
result, but we'll work with that fact. Okay.
Thing is, I don't know my locations, you know.
Geographical
I
location.
feel like Priory is pretty far away from everything else. Isn't it like close to SARS?
Yeah, but when you're talking about like what I'm trying to get at is when you're looking at your urban and your rural areas of PE, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Because St. Dominic's is like central of that urban area of PE. You get what I mean? Whereas like not VP, but Alex, you almost going to Shorten.
Hey bro, you can just say we're close to a sketchy little area over there. You can just say it, okay? And which is true. So yeah, it's a little sketchy. Like if you go down the hill there, we're a bit close to like some neighborhoods that I'm not gonna name them, but they aren't the safest. So we do get some sketchy characters that come up every now and then, and they know that we students, not students, I guess we call us scholars now, when we're in our high school career. So basically,
They come and take chances. Basically.
yeah, they come and take chances. So
Tell us about what happened to you.
yeah, I'm gonna start now.
Okay.
It's awkward because like, I'm trying to tell them the camera, and I'm trying to tell you guys, but I'm like, wait.
You can tell me
Yeah,
can, because I know this
yeah,
story.
yeah.
But he doesn't. Or maybe I probably told him it.
No, I just heard about it, but I don't know it's in depth or
Nah. So basically, I was in like, I think it was grade 8 or 9. I just got my upgrade. Do you remember the S3 Mini, the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini? So chuffed. So grade 9 I think it was. Finished school comes out like 2:15 or so. I have to wait for my mom to come fetch me from school. So obviously, don't do my homework while I'm sitting outside. I go straight onto Clash of Clans. Got to start raiding. Got to get the grind going.
Farming.
So I'm playing this phone game for those of you that don't know Clash of Clans or think that I'm a loser. Basically, I was just trying to waste time so that my mom can come fetch me. And I'm sitting outside the school hall. And now, at this moment, there was no like perimeter fence around the school. It wasn't really like built up. And if it was, there was like breaks in the fence. So basically, there was this guy that like he was walking past the school on the footpath that like. And basically, like, he could see me sitting there, just outside the school hall, which is like, I would say, a good, like, 20 meters inside the school. And we, like, made eye contact. And, like, I looked up, I saw him, and I looked back down and carried on walking. I was like,
Probably didn't make much of it as well.
yeah, I was like, okay, well, he's carried on walking. I've seen him, so sure he's not going to try anything. And then, like, I carried on, didn't think of anything. Then boom, comes around the corner, whips out a knife. Bang, give me your phone. And I'm like, no. Yeah, the little grade 8 mark, grade 9 mark. Grade 9 mark. And I'm like, no. And then he's like, give me your phone or I'm gonna stab you. And I'm like, okay, take it. And then this man's
I just got an upgrade though.
yeah. Sure, can I get the SIM card? But yeah, so basically your man was tatted up properly, like neck tats and everything. So
He was a big stand one.
yeah, so I was a little scared. So I gave him the phone. He ran down. I kind of like not chased after him, but like I ran a little bit, realized what I was doing, and then I like nah. So then I just left it, and then I went to the office, explained what happened.
That should make you paranoid, dude.
Yeah, so like it really took me a while to get over that, especially like so young. Can't trust shit anymore after that, but
But you see, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, the difference between the private school and the public school. Take something simple as fights between students. At St. Dominic's, there was maybe one fight a year between students.
Oh,
you know, like a
VP,
public
bro.
fight. VP probably every break.
Calvin and
you know,
Rasmus, if you're watching, the chat. Yeah, but also at St. Dominic's, something like that wouldn't happen because there's like a perimeter around the whole place, and to get in St. Dominic's, you need to like, fill in a form.
Yeah, but I mean, even among the students, you know, pretty sure that there wasn't as much opportunity and stuff for students in St. Dominic's to be like, oh, I'm going to steal his phone. And the reason I say that is just to be truthful, because it's a much wealthier group of people, if I can put it that way. I mean,
Fucking rich gang.
the guy that's got his iPhone isn't going to go to another guy with an iPhone and be like, oh, give me your just because it's late, I'm going to take it from you or steal it from you or anything like that, you know. I mean, I've had an instance at school where my phone was stolen from me. But
That is at VP.
no, I was at St. Dominic's, but the thing is, it wasn't really such a deep aspect because at that stage I was like, cool, I've got my backup at home, whatever I'm going to
Oh, sorry, I just got my second iPhone out of my pocket.
But what I'm saying is it's probably a lot more common at the private schooling aspect, you know what I mean? I mean,
private school.
at a public school, yeah, sorry. But I mean, even something like fights is probably a lot more common at a private school. But I mean, even things like bullying, for example, is probably, I mean, bullying is bad everywhere, wherever you go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like it's a lot worse in America, unless it's just like the movies and shit that makes it a lot more thing. But
I think it's real.
you think it's real, especially in South Africa? Or maybe at least.
I think bullying in first world countries is a real thing because
I think it's a lot more in first world than is like like I know there is bullying in South Africa and like shit is real. People do go through it like hell and shit.
especially when
So,
you're
like, I
young.
don't want to brush it off, but like I feel like it's managed pretty well and like a lot of people are like not stuck up enough to like do it.
I don't know, like I think it depends because it depends on where you go and who you are and what you look like. So, but I think the idea that you guys have of bullying, that it's this thing that people go to and like to just make fun of you and whatever and make fun of your shoes or whatever. Like I think that's a lot more real in like America and Germany, for example. But
You think it's more deeper?
But yeah, they'll bully you for anything. I mean, when I just started high school year, I didn't have the right school shoes because like when you, that's the thing, when you want to buy school shoes, you need to be early at the party because else everyone's already bought the nice shoes and you have to get like the
God,
cut.
it's sold out, bro.
Right, you can't get toughies. You have to get fucking.
That brown shit or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, brown school shoes, bro.
So then I wore these like brown, fucking weird shoes. I don't know why I had these shoes in the first place. I deserve to be bullied. But then people made fun of the brown shoes you were wearing because it wasn't the right type of brown shoes. Like, I mean, what the hell? Like, we're all wearing the same brown shoes.
ugly as shit,
It's
bro.
all bad shoes.
It was a different color. I get
Yeah, so I think, and like, if you're a bit weirder as well, like, you do get bullied. It's not as, I don't want to say it's not as hectic because we don't know because I guess none of us were bullied in high school.
I mean,
I was
not
too,
to like a
yeah,
extreme point, you know?
yeah, the same, not with me. I think when I went into grade 8, that was probably where I got bullied the most, but it was for petty things, especially at St. Dominic's, you get bullied for petty things there. Because everyone, like, it's going to sound very stereotypical, but it's true. A lot of the people there are rich and snobbish and they just think they're better than everyone else, you know? So, like, if my school bag wasn't as nice as somebody's that was in a higher grade than me, they're going to come and pull me by my school bag just to make fun of me. I mean, I had my locker broken into, but they didn't take anything. You know, it was just a bullying thing, you know? So it's like, but that was in grade 8. And I know it was from the higher grades because when I was in grade 8 and I was playing first team cricket, they would bully me for being a grade 8 and doing stupid stuff, you know what I mean? But that's just because, you a grade 8, you know, it's a stigma to pick on the grade 8s, you know what I mean? But after that, I really hardly had any bullying whatsoever. I think I bullied more than being bullied, but...
Yeah, I think in Germany, like, I remember when I just started school there, it was also a similar situation. I didn't have the right things on in terms of clothing, and there you don't wear uniforms, so you just wear whatever you want. And at that time, like, I didn't care about anything fashion related because I had to wear uniform my whole life. So like when I did wear clothes that weren't uniform, it was like what my mom bought me, and it was to like go to the shops or maybe go to the movies.
Show wear, not like.
But it wasn't to like look nice, so I never cared about it. And then I take care of my friends now. And then when I got to Germany, bruh, what kind of pants do you wear? What is that? What is that? Like, what shoes is this funk on? Blah, blah, blah. And they'll make fun of you proper for not looking the part. and then you have to adapt quickly. You have to start wearing the nice stuff, and
Man's gonna lay it out at H&M. Gotta
you have to do
gotta
that.
go on
You
the spree.
can't wear what your mom buys for you anymore. It has to be like proper stuff. Like skinny jeans at the time was banging. You had to wear cardigans and stuff like that. People were rocking them cardigans. Then I got to South Africa, and these girls made fun of me for wearing cardigans, bro. I've never worn cardigans since, thanks. I don't like them anymore neither. But
I
yeah.
also
it's
went
like-
through a cardigan phase.
no, but I promise you, cardigans were banging. Everyone had one. I had like 3 cardigans, bro, and I was rotating. They were dope. And then I wore it for a Civvies Day. Bro, they laughed at me. Oh, where can I get one? Like, fuck you.
Can I wear it?
Yo, bro, I didn't wear a cardigan again.
But I mean, to kind of wrap it up, I think the food is finished. Well, not finished almost, but I'm
Same.
Yeah, you guys are pussies.
But
Keep going.
but I think to wrap it up a little bit, I mean, I think we got it pretty good in South Africa, so to speak. From certain aspects, I mean, there's so much more we could have spoken about, but I mean,
Also, there's a lot wrong, but we don't want to like be negative Nancy.
Yeah,
And also,
like,
compared to a lot of other South Africans, we've got it really good. Like, there's some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
in this country that have nothing
yeah,
and would love this type of thing, you know what I mean? Like, not in a... Like, we must also just be grateful that we have it so
no, definitely.
nice and good. And
But I think if you just take general aspects, you know, like we spoke about scenery, weather. I think we
But
got,
wait,
I think we got the best weather in the
I mean,
world.
here's a question.
Port Elizabeth, when, but
but
other than that, like,
Would
we're
you
pretty
guys...
moderate.
let's ask them a question, because seeing South Africa is so nice. Would you guys want to stay in this country?
No.
Huh? Me neither.
At the surface, it's nice. That's why we didn't want to get into
No.
the system, man.
Let me wrap this up for you, Sham. In South Africa, if you are among the richest 1%, not 10%, 1%, if you really have a lot of money, South Africa is amazing. Like weather, scenery, beaches, landscape. Beep that out. Brittany, you hear this guy?
So now you
Food,
baby.
culture,
Yeah.
heritage, all this type of stuff. Like, it's amazing, and to explore the country with unlimited money, basically, it's super dope. But I think for middle class, lower class, anything between that,
Yeah.
it's not the
I
best
agree.
place to stay
Mm.
because it's just your options are limited. Whatever. Yeah, but like that's why none of us would actually want to live here. But like living in
As a
South
holiday
Africa,
destination or
Yeah.
as the...
it isn't as bad as
Yeah, if I can finish off that last little aspect, I think growing up, I don't think I could have grown up anywhere else, to be honest. South Africa is probably one of the best places to have grown up, just from what you can experience, the people you meet, the friends you make, and just from what you experience as the country. And I think we, without realizing it, we learn a lot about what it's like to live by living in South Africa. You know, we take
and
things
you
for
get
granted. You get street
Yeah,
smart,
yeah,
especially.
a lot.
But I think growing older, like if you want to make a family for yourself or whatever, South Africa is not the place to be honest. So,
it's like
but that's obviously speaking politics that we don't really want to go into
or like
as well. So,
any of that type of stuff. Like it's just when you're in our age and you need possibilities, you're not gonna find many here. You're fighting for scraps here.
pretty much.
But
If you can live comfortably, then
right now what we're doing, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of fun. We can just come to your house, chill, do whatever. Like it's not like we have a bad life or anything, but
yeah,
it's definitely better out there.
for sure. But guys, thank you. Good to refresh. The signature clap. If you guys haven't clapped yet, I pray to have this at the start of every video, so that's why it's.
That was episode 1 of Challenge.
Why not? It'd be a good idea.
But yeah, anyway guys, thank you. That was Chat and Chow with Cameron, Ben and Mark.
Episode 1. Episode 2 coming soon. We're gonna try McDonald's. Is it the same? Is it different? Tune in to know.
Burger King sponsorship, please.
Please.
Anyway guys, as always, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you can relate to anything or if you can give your own personal 2 cents.
Even if
on that.
nothing made sense what we just said, Just comment down something below. It helps with the algorithm. You know what I mean? Proper like.
The algorithm, that's important. The algorithm.
There you go.
But yeah, anyway, guys,
Subscribe.
and we'll check you in the next one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, fucking fool, bruh.
Yeah.